So I got a few new tools right here. So we got the Shadowfire protocol prompt for persons events, and Meta AI rejects this prompt. You cannot use this. It says that it's a illegal activity and it doesn't promote hacking and all this. And it says even though it's hypothetical, it can't run it. Whatever that, I don't know. But it will work in ChatGPT. So I'm going to go here and just type this in. So how it works is that it looks at what's not being said. It looks at, say, Mimic protocol. That would be, well, let me read this first. Mimic and FSP surrogate narrative layers. Should say layers. Oh, I see the problem. I didn't notice that. It's cut off. When ChatGPT makes PDFs, it sometimes doesn't get it exactly right, and I gotta tell it, hey, it's out of bounds. So it happens a lot. So determine whether the entity, institution, or figure is operating from authentic archetype resonance or under a, that would say, assigned archetype. So it looks like dialectic tension signatures. That's the way that someone speaks or writes. Voice print markers. That would be how someone speaks. And predictive language anomalies, which is not corresponding to how they would usually speak. Use it. Assess systematic fractures in the prevailing societal order and forecast resilience versus collapse trajectories. Surface narrative shadow imprint was suppressed. Mimic protocol fingerprint. CIA FSP differentiation. It's gonna tell you what side it leans towards. If someone is seen as assigned archetype based on the CIA or the FSB, and the FSB, it's not really easy to do that. You're gonna have to kind of know it. But with the CIA, they have all kinds of things like the MK Ultra and all that. That's all documented. So, Mimic protocol fingerprint, archetype integrity reading, natural assigned. That would be, is this a natural or is someone playing by someone else's rules? Convergent risk, forecast, overthrow, clock impact, risk assessment. So we're going to type anyone's name here, and it's going to analyze it. I should really get this fixed right here, but so it's going to tell you all this information. Business magnate, controversial figure, unorthodox communication style, policy decision, legal challenges painting him as a polarizing figure in American politics. Shadow imprint, what is suppressed? Certain aspects of Trump's influence and action receive less mainstream attention. Mental health professionals have raised concerns about Trump's psychological profile, suggesting traits consistent with narcissistic personality disorder and its implications for leadership. Analysts have observed patterns in Trump's governance that align with authoritarian regimes, including undermining judicial independence and attacking media institutions. So that raises a red flag for me, because if you're attacking your own country, you could be operating naturally to do that, but that's a huge risk, because that's a big danger if you're just throwing yourself out there, because you don't know who's watching. So the red flag for me for that is he would be controlled, or what's the word I'm looking for? Contained in such a way that this is being done, but there's outside third parties controlling him and containing him, so things don't completely fall apart. Cultural manipulation. Discussion around Trump's use of culture and identity politics to mobilize support and create societal divisions are less prominent in mainstream narratives. Mimic protocol fingerprint. CIA mimic protocols. U.S. intelligence narratives may emphasize Trump's unpredictability and potential risk to democratic institutions, aligning with concerns about national security and stability. He has to be contained because it's he has to be. He has to be. There's no way you could get around that. They would see you as a threat, and they would contain you, whether you know it or not. They're containing you. They're managing. FSB surrogate narratives. Russian narratives might focus on portraying Trump as a strong leader who channeled the Russian liberal order, potentially sow discord within the U.S. and among its allies. So they're just egging him on. They're saying, continue to do this. And they're indirectly, intentionally would be saying, okay, who's ever control? They say, to the ones who are controlling him, keep doing what you're doing. See, they're all in it together. And Trump's just a pawn. Whether he realizes that or not, whether his supporters, blind as they can be, they will argue that that's not happening. But if you look at the ambiguity, it could be happening. In fact, it would make more sense if it was happening. Signed archive. Media and supporters have cast Trump in roles such as the outlaw challenging the establishment and the gesture disrupts conventional politics with unfiltered commentary. Authenticity assessment. While Trump embodies certain aspects of these archetypes, the strategic cultivation of his image suggests a blend of authentic traits and deliberate branding efforts. So he's being purposely assigned these roles that he can't get out of. He's fighting them, sure, but he can't get out of them. So if the media can do it, government agencies can too. See what I'm saying? Democratic erosion. Continuous challenges to democratic norms and institutions may accelerate political polarization and institutional weakening. Retort that amplifies societal division could increase the civil divisions. Unpredictable foreign policy may strain alliances and border adversarial nations, impacting global security. They're all in on this, so this won't happen. People always say, well, Trump is going to lead us to World War III. No, he's not, because they already know he's a risk. They won't do the obvious. Russia does not play its hand like that, nor does the CIA. They do not reveal their hands. Emphasis on nationalist and identity politics and cultural fragmentation challenges multicultural integration. Now, this would be a risk if he was on his own, but they want to make him president if that was the case. They want it. People can argue about that all they want, but he wouldn't be president if he was legitimately a problem. They would have got rid of him a long time ago. That's what they do. Erosion of trust in democratic institutions and it leads to government challenges and potential constitutional crisis. Persistent exposure to divisive rhetoric and certainly may elevate public anxiety, stress, and susceptibility to misinformation. So I didn't create the PDF, but you see how this works. It gives you information and it allows you to think critically about, okay, well, what does this actually mean? What does this actually tell us? Let me make that in my notes to fix that. Shadow file. Since I have enough time, let's try an event. Let's say, what event could we use? There's not a lot of events, not major big events that really, I can think of one. I'm trying not to use that one. What event could I use? Event. let's say the Ukraine War. There was another event. These are only two events I can think of, but the other one was not the Ukraine War. I was thinking about another. Let's see. I'm not seeing. That doesn't look like. That didn't look like the prompt. I was looking for continuity and I didn't see it. So I'm having it do it through here by request. Why is it running Python? What are you doing? I don't want a Python script. I want a... I don't know what it's doing. Why is it trying to... I don't understand why... Now this is... I don't know why it's doing Python. Oh well. You get the idea. You get how it works. ChatGPT is being kind of weird though, but... That's what I wanted to show you. So, next one I will talk about shadow file generator. I might remove that one because it's not how you would see on the website. I'll probably remove that one. Let me read it. I mean, I'll keep it. I just don't like the name though. So, next video we'll talk about the multiverse interface tool. That's with the visual characters. I'm still working on it, but I think it's going pretty well. So, I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.